Good morning. Today we'll be taste testing coffee.
There's 107 million people drinking coffee every day, and yet millions are going to the wrong shops to fill their coffee addictions. Our goal is to sit down at coffee places and find the best shop to suit all of your coffee needs. From the best on-the-go shop to the best sit-down, we want to give you the most useful recommendations. We will be going to our local Starbucks in Macedonia, Dunkin' Donuts in Macedonia, and for those of you that like a small-town coffee shop, Joe Max in Brecksville. Each shop will be judged based on the look or feel of their coffee shop, the customer service, the price of our coffee item, the nutritional value, the taste, and lastly, our overall experience. At each shop, we will be trying our own coffee, but we will have the same item at each location.
At each location, I will be tasting a caramel macchiato.
I will be tasting a vanilla iced coffee with cream.
And I'll be ordering an iced vanilla latte with cinnamon.
So let's get started.
We're back!
To understand our love for coffee, we need to understand the process and ingredients. The process of coffee brewing starts with the raw green coffee beans being put into the roaster at 500 degrees. It stays at this temperature for 5 minutes and then drops to anywhere between 350 and 395 degrees. It undergoes this temperature for 2 to 5 minutes depending on the type of coffee and roast degree. Once it's done brewing, you get your steaming hot cup of joe.
But what really makes coffee so appealing? Some might argue the flavor, others will say it's the cozy morning routine, and still others will say it's the energy. The energy coffee gives you comes in the form of a highly addictive drug, caffeine. In an average brewed 8-ounce cup of coffee, there is 95 milligrams of caffeine. The amount of caffeine varies with the types of coffee. A single espresso has an average of 63 milligrams of caffeine, a decaf contains 3 milligrams of caffeine, and your regular caffeinated coffee contains 200 milligrams per 16 ounces. Sometimes caffeine gets a bad rep, but in reality, caffeine has been proven to have many benefits. It prevents the risk of getting throat cancer by 50%. It also decreases the risk of stroke and type 2 diabetes. Unfortunately, it is true that caffeine also has disadvantages, including insomnia and restlessness over a prolonged period of time. It raises blood pressure and increases the risk of heart attack in young adults. Most of the time, these disadvantages are caused by an excess amount of caffeine over time.
Our first stop today will be Starbucks in Macedonia. We chose Starbucks as one of our locations because according to Statista.com, Starbucks came out on top for sales of leading coffee houses in 2018 at a whopping $19.6 billion. We knew that was a fan favorite, but Starbucks also has one of the largest menu options for coffee. Since you can customize drinks to be pretty much any coffee, tea, or lemonade beverage you could think of, we wanted to have at least one location with that wide of a variety.
We did it! We got our coffees! My tall vanilla iced coffee is 60 calories, it costs $2.25, and has 120 milligrams of caffeine and 15 grams of sugar.
My caramel macchiato was $4.25. It has 180 calories, 24 grams of sugar, and only 75 milligrams of caffeine.
My iced vanilla latte was around $4.25 as well. It has 100 grams of sugar. No, it doesn't. It has 100 calories, 9 grams of sugar, and 75 milligrams of caffeine.
Okay. Now on to the next store. And we're back. We're back at Dunkin'.
Next, we drove down the street to Dunkin' Donuts. However, as much as we were tempted to get donuts, we stuck to our plan and only got coffee. Same drink orders, different tastes. All Dunkin' locations still use the original William Rosenberg recipe from 1948. Another fun fact is that after the company was launched in 1950, the way people spelled donut changed drastically. The original spelling, DOUGHNUT, faded out as DONUT, came in thanks to Dunkin'. My vanilla iced coffee costs $1.99. It is 170 calories and it has 25 grams of sugar and 159 milligrams of caffeine.
So my small iced caramel macchiato was $3.19, 160 calories, 35 grams of sugar, and 237 milligrams of caffeine.
Alright, my small iced vanilla latte with cinnamon was 170 calories, 33 grams of sugar, and 118 milligrams of caffeine, and it cost $3.09. Look how much bigger the Dunkin' is compared to Starbucks. The small,
and it was cheaper.
And it was cheaper,
A lot
yes.
cheaper. On to Joe Max.
Our final stop takes us to the edge of Brecksville and Sagamore at Joe Max Coffee. We wanted to make sure we included a local coffee shop in our review and thought this was the perfect choice. Joe Max carries over a dozen coffee varieties and currently operates in 5 states: Colorado, Ohio, Florida, Nevada, and Pennsylvania. Although the franchise is nowhere near as large as Dunkin' or Starbucks, the coffee is still rated very high and has great reviews. By being a smaller and local business, it allows them to provide a more comforting and homey environment in their location.
So unfortunately, we couldn't find any nutritional facts online, and when we went inside to ask the manager, they also didn't have any information for us. But we can say that based on the size of this coffee, it's about the same size as Dunkin'. So these are both larger than Starbucks is small. And my coffee was $2.43.
Mine was $3.13.
Mine was also $3.13.
So we're back home. We visited all our coffee shops, and I think we've come to our conclusions.
So we're going to start with reviewing the look and feel of each coffee place. So I will talk about Starbucks, McKenna will talk about Dunkin', and Sam's going to talk about Joe Max. So Starbucks, I say we all would give Starbucks a 9 out of 10 for the look and feel. It was pretty cozy in there. The lighting was pretty dim, but like not too dim, and it just really felt like a coffee shop for me.
Good place to sit down and do your work.
Yeah.
We've agreed on Dunkin' as a 5 out of 10. It was okay. It was nothing special. It kind of just felt like a fast food place, which is kind of what we expected. The customer service was good, but nothing special, so it was just average.
And we felt that we would give Joe Max an 8 out of 10 because we thought that the place was very homey feeling and it had a really nice aesthetic to it. But it is very small, so it might not be the best place if you're needing to run around and get something quick.
All right, so for customer service, we felt that Starbucks deserved like a 7 out of 10. It was pretty average. They didn't like help us much with anything. They just, made our drinks. We didn't really interact much with them. So yeah, we gave a 7 out of 10 for Starbucks.
Same thing with Dunkin'. There was nothing wrong with them. They were pretty nice, but we decided that we were going to give them a 6 out of 10 because we did order food and they kind of like forgot one of our orders, and they handled it very well, but they still forgot it. So we decided a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, and then for Joe Max, we're going to give them an 8 out of 10 because when we did ask about the nutritional value, the barista was able to go to her manager, and unfortunately they couldn't give us any information, but they were very nice and handled it very professionally.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So for price value, we can't really give it a rating because we have actual evidence that Starbucks was the most expensive. Altogether, we spent a total of $10.25 at Starbucks.
Dunkin' was the least at $8.27 for all of us.
And Joe Max was obviously in the middle at $8.69 for all of us.
Okay, so for taste, we're all gonna go around and say which one we like the best and which one, like how they all tasted for us, because all of our drinks kind of came out a little bit differently at each place since we all did get different orders.
So for me personally, Starbucks was my favorite because I get Starbucks all the time, and I like the fact that I can customize my drink pretty much any way that I want. And I just think it wasn't too sweet and it wasn't too bitter, like it wasn't too coffee tasting, which I like the taste of coffee, but I don't like it black. And for me, Dunkin' was in the middle because it kind of tasted similar to Starbucks, but it was a little more sweeter. It was sweeter than what I personally like. And Joe Max here was the worst for me because it really just kind of tasted like milk. They put a lot of milk in it, and you can kind of see by the color, it really just looks milky with a little bit of cinnamon and a little bit of vanilla. So that's why I personally think Joe Max was the worst tasting one and Starbucks was the best.
So I kind of agree. Starbucks was my favorite as well. I just like the taste of it. It wasn't too coffee, but it had a good taste of caramel and like not too much milk. I thought it was like the perfect mix. Dunkin' for me was my least favorite. I did not like it at all. It just tasted like black coffee, and I just did not like it at all. That's why I didn't drink any of it. And then Joe Max, I agree, it just tasted like caramel milk. Like I could not taste any coffee in it whatsoever.
So for me, I thought that Dunkin' was the best. I have a little bit more of a sweet tooth, so I like it to be a little bit more sweet, and I felt Dunkin' was the sweetest of the three. Starbucks was my middle because I thought that it tasted good, but I would have liked it just a little bit more sweet than it was. And then Joe Max was my least favorite because I feel like when I asked for cream, they really didn't put any cream into it, so it tasted pretty bitter to me.
And I don't think any of us asked for added sugar in it, so which kind of helps our cases with sweetness.
Yeah.
We just based it off of the sugar that comes in the syrups.
Right.
For the best sit-down coffee shop, we thought that Starbucks was the best. It was pretty big and homey on the inside at the same time. And even though they do have a drive-through, I think that when people do customize their drinks, it takes a little bit longer, so it's not that much on the go. So definitely Starbucks is the best sit down, and it's nice because you can do work there. They have some comfy chairs, and yeah,
A cute environment
Yeah.
to sit down in. So for Dunkin', we've agreed that overall they had the best on-the-go experience. We know from experience that their drive-thru is really fast. It's easy to go to before work or school, and we liked their coffee. I obviously wouldn't get this order, but I do like Dunkin's coffee. So altogether, they have the fastest on the go.
And we felt that Joe Max was our least favorite place, even though it has a really nice and cozy environment. We just felt that it was pretty small, so it wouldn't be the best for on the go. And also, when you're in a very confined space, if you're trying to do work, but there's a lot of people there, it could get pretty loud at times. But we still liked them because they are local, and we like to support local places.
Thank you for joining us on our coffee exploration. I hope this helps you decide where your next coffee destination will be.
hashtag Starbucks.
Corona, oh, Corona, that shit pulled up to my city like aloha.